guys, today I'm going to talk about the difference in being goth and being dark. There are two reasons why I want to make this video. Number one, a lot of people seem to think that if you're goth it means that you're dark. Whatever dark means, I don't really know what dark means because everyone uses the word dark to, explain to you what a certain person is like, but what's really the connotation between the word dark? I don't really understand that, but that's out of the point. Anyway, I've been goth now for I think 9 years, including the baby bat period, and I have never felt that I'm a dark person. I like to laugh and I'm very positive. I mean, I kind of hate myself sometimes, but I feel everyone hates themselves sometimes, so like that's totally normal. And also when I don't really have a lot of goth interactions in real life because I don't really know a lot of goths. I don't know any goth. But as I look on, for instance, on the internet for the goth YouTubers like Toxic Tears and Leah Mouse, they are not really dark people. They're positive, hippie happy and all that shit, and they don't seem to be dark. And Black Friday does put on kind of a dark facade, but I don't think she actually feels... I mean, I know what she feels like, I'm not gonna say it, but I don't think she's really that dark of a person either, you know what I mean? Once again, I don't really know what the word dark explains to you when it comes to some person's characteristics. My point is that you can be goth and dark, but just because you're goth does not mean that you have to be dark. Do you understand my point of view? I just don't think that one has to equal another. The gothic subculture is based on the way you look mostly and the music you listen to. Of course, there are some other things like literature and all this stuff, movies like love of horror and murders and all this stuff, but most important things is the way you look and the music you listen to, and of course you feel goth. And nowhere in that kind of spectrum is it said that to be goth you have to feel dark. Nowhere. And yeah, so that's number one. And number two, I have a lot of people in my life who come up to me and say that they're dark. Like, I'm not gonna say that you're not dark. If you think you're dark, you're probably dark. I don't know you. I mean, maybe you're... okay, whatever. I don't care if you're dark or not. Seriously, I don't give a shit. So if someone tells me that they're dark, okay, good for you. Whatever that word dark means, good for you. But a lot of people in my life, some of them were my friends, some of them are totally random strangers, come up to me and they say, oh yeah, listen, I don't dress goth, I know literally nothing about the subculture. Okay, they don't say that, they just say that they don't look goth. But they come out and say, I don't dress goth, but I'm goth because I have a dark soul. Like, you have no idea how many times I have heard that line in my life. There are literally a ton of people walking around looking totally normal, like wearing colorful colors, putting no makeup on, no spikes, being literally just normal people, but they are, not to mention they don't know the music and all that stuff, and they are so super convinced that they are goth because they have a dark soul. And this might just be my case, but that irritates me so much because I feel like this is one of the things that gives us goths a bad name. I'm not saying that you have to, meet all the... God, how do you say it? Meet all the points, whatever, to be goth. You don't have to, there's a list and here you can check off everything on the list that makes you goth. No. But, for instance, just because you dress goth doesn't mean you can dress goth and not be goth. And you can just listen to the gothic music, for instance, and be goth. I don't know how that works. But in my opinion, like, if you were to choose just one and only thing that makes you goth, I don't believe I'm saying this because I think that this is a subculture based mostly around music, so I don't believe I'm saying this. But if I were to choose between what's more important and what makes you goth more, is it the music or the way you look? I think I'd point out the way that we look makes us goth. Let's be honest, that is kind of very important, and I'm sorry if I'm hurting anyone's feelings because you think you're goth just because you have a dark soul, but, I mean, okay, I may not be correct about this, I'm sorry. I may be wrong, I didn't make this subculture up, I didn't, put it into existence, but, that's generally the whole base of the gothic subculture. We like black, and black. And so, like, I understand that someone, for instance, feels goth because they listen to the music, they don't dress a certain way because, I don't know, they're weekenders, or they work, or their school doesn't allow them to. I understand that. But most of the people, like, I think every person that has come up to me and said that, because I'm not talking everyone is like that, but every person that's come up to me and said that, and they're goth because they have a dark soul, knew absolutely nothing about the subculture. Because sometimes, you know, I want to be nice. I don't like people, I'm not gonna be honest, I don't like them. But I have one rule in my life: be nice to people, because I know that if I'm nice to people, they're gonna be nice back to me. Plus, just because I don't like someone doesn't mean I have to be a huge ass bitch to them, you know what I mean? So I'm always nice to people, and sometimes some people come up to me and say, oh, I don't look goth, but I'm goth, just like you. And I say, oh, okay, cool, I understand that, oh. What's your favorite band? You know, I just want to be nice and start a conversation versus, like, oh, I don't know, any band, let's say My Chemical Romance, which I like too, so this isn't judging or anything. But, and then for instance I ask, okay, cool, what's your favorite goth band? And they're like, what, goth band? Like My Chemical Romance, I don't know, maybe Nightwish, Marilyn Manson, yeah. Most of the time though, when I ask what's your favorite goth band, I get this stare. Most people are not even aware that there's a genre of music for goth people. Like, yeah, some of them kind of, you know, realize that we're connected to emo, so they put on Evanescence as their favorite goth bands, or My Chemical Romance, or Manson because of the way he looks. But, so some people do that, but some people have literally no idea that there's any music connected to us. Some people literally think that being dark is all it takes to be goth. And as I mentioned, if it were a requirement to be goth, so you have to be dark to be goth, because if you're not goth, not dark, then you're not goth, then okay, sure. I mean, I may be wrong here, but I think that the most important thing to be a punk is to, be willing to accept the whole anarchy thing and the anarchy idea. I mean, I may be wrong here. I've never been punk, but I think that's something like that. Plus, of course, the music, but whatever. So for instance, if you're just an anarchist and you think that, okay, I'm punk, you don't listen to the music, you don't look punk, and you're an anarchist, if it's a punk watching me and you have your own opinion, please leave it in the comments below, because I'd really like to know more, okay? I am willing to learn, I really am. So I guess that would be okay, because I think that's kind of a requirement to be punk. You have to be in the whole anarchy scene thing, but being dark and being goth are two totally different things. You don't have to be goth to be dark, and you don't have to be dark to be goth. You understand what I mean? And so yeah, this is turning into a rant, so sorry about that. My point is, in general, is that I'm sorry if I'm hurting your feelings, but just because you feel dark does not mean that you are goth. Being goth takes up a lot of courage to be able to accept the way that you are and show it to other people, because people are gonna judge you. That's it, they're gonna judge you. There is no way they're not gonna judge you, and just because you think to yourself, oh, but I'm a special snowflake and I'm being myself and they should accept that, they're not gonna accept you. Trust me, they're not. Your friends might accept you. When you go to university, people might find you attractive, but people in general will not accept you. They won't sit next to you on the bus, they will talk shit to you because they're scared of you, because you're different. What was I even talking about? Anyway, so, oh yeah. So it takes a lot of courage to be goth, because you have to show yourself. It takes a lot of years to actually get a gothic closet. Like, nobody just has enough of money or anything to exchange their closet overnight. It took me over 5 years to get a semi-gothic closet, like with most clothes being, black or gothy or whatever. So it took me over 5 years to do that. And it's similar to with most people. I think the shortest time spent for people to actually exchange their closet from normal clothes to gothy takes around 3 years. That's the shortest time span. So that's another thing. So it's a lot of money, a lot of time went into that. It's a lot of time went into perfecting your gothic makeup. It's a lot of time spent on listening to the music and all this stuff. And just coming up to us and saying, yeah, I'm goth because I'm dark, it's kind of disrespectful, I mean, this might be just my opinion, please don't hate on me, but it does feel a little bit disrespectful, because you have absolutely no idea about the subculture, and you want to be cool or something, so you come up to us to be cool and fancy schmancy, and you say shit that's shit. It's not nice. It doesn't make us like you or want to accept you. It's just disrespectful shit because you're trying to prove that you're dark because being dark now is fashionable. Just as being depressed is fashionable for some unknown fucking reason. And that's all you're doing. And that is disrespectful in my opinion. So if you're one of those people who goes on Facebook and says, oh my god, I'm so dark, I know I don't dress goth or know nothing about the subculture, but I'm so dark, look at me. Stop, please stop. I beg you, don't. If I didn't offend anyone, these are just my thoughts because I get this reaction a lot. A lot of people come up to me and say that, and it just pisses me off. I'm gonna be honest, it pisses me off. And before you say, oh Vicky, take it as a compliment. No, okay? I decide what I take as a compliment, not you. Just because you mean well doesn't mean it's gonna go well. Just because you say, well, I don't like your boyfriend, you should dump him because you think he's an ass, does not mean you're doing well. Just because you think you mean well, because you think my boyfriend is disrespecting me and I should dump him, does not mean you're doing well because you might not know how he is and it turns out that he's actually an amazing guy and you're just being an ass. Okay? So I decide what I take as a compliment, and just because you mean well does not mean you're actually doing well, okay? That's all I wanted to say. So, thank you for watching. Please share your opinions on this topic in the comments below. I like to discuss these things with you. I take your opinions into account just because you have a different opinion than mine. I will not judge you. I will not hate you. I am open to everyone and everyone's opinions. So yeah, let me know what you think on this topic. Please comment down below. Like this video if you enjoyed it or if you agree with me. And comment to my potato face. And I hope to see you next time. Bye. Mwah.